A new Bum Steer Award. Texas Monthly named the political class of 2025 as this year's Bum Steer of the Year. That's an award for the year's biggest Texas goof up. Joining us to discuss that selection is Texas Monthly Editor-in-Chief Ross McCammon. Ross, thanks so much for being here this morning.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. So first, walk us through how you decide who the Bum Steer will be each year. What is that selection process like?
Well, first of all, we get ready. We get prepared to go through a lot of news and a lot of stuff that we have forgotten about. I mean, so much has happened this year. So we have a lot of people throughout the year, collecting all of this news that we may use for Bum Steers, and we go through it with a committee. So it's all of our political reporters, our political editors, because a lot of the Bum Steers is politics. That's the history of the Bum Steers. It's been very much a political thing, but other things too. And I'm involved a little. I kind of oversee things before I check in, but it's led by a great team.
And how far out do they start the process of picking the next year's Bum Steer?
It's about. I'd say, well, it's really a year because we're talking about it as we go along. We can't do something this big without spending basically the whole year cataloging things and checking in on it. But it really gets started in earnest I'd say about 4 months ahead.
And as you and I were talking about during the break, my goodness, what a year it's been. It's hard to remember all the big stories that have happened this year just at kind of first glance. But this year you labeled it as the political class of 2025. Now it's important to note this includes both Republicans and Democrats who represent Texas. Why such a large category there?
Yeah, well, I mean, think about the last time a politician in Texas, and I have to say even nationally, did something that you admire, right? Politicians, and a lot of that comes from work, right? It comes from work, and statesmanship is when you admire a politician, right? These days, politicians are celebrities first. It's a media operation, right? We in Texas, the Republicans are in power. Democrats haven't won a statewide office in 3 decades. So yes, we try to spread it around, but there are more Republicans than Democrats simply because, and we get criticized a lot for this, but there are more Republicans than Democrats simply because there are more Republicans in power than Democrats. But think about the last time there was someone on the news, a politician on the news, doing something great and doing great oratory. Now, great oratory is a viral moment. How are you going to get that? How are you going to own somebody with a viral moment? And politicians are so good at that. It used to be the soundbite. Now it's what's going to travel on TikTok.
The environment has certainly changed in a very short amount of time. As you were choosing this selection, was there a single most defining action or event that made you choose the entire political class?
No, I mean it was from it's really January 1st all the way through, waiting for someone to step up and emerge as a voice for Texans primarily, right? What you see is people who seem to be beholden to special interests, lobbyists, donors, and like I said, the internet, right? We want to celebrate, and we do. We celebrate the best things that Texas has to offer. But when it comes to Bum Steers, we look at who emerged as the most the dopiest, the most villainous, right? And it's funny, you could go with the Dallas Mavericks for the Luka trade. You could go with all of Elon Musk and how he's just stayed in the news, for doing all sorts of crazy stuff. We're not sure he's officially a Texan. We're going to give him a few more years, but he's certainly qualified. But I think that all of what he did was amazing. I mean, and then you have Ken Paxton, who, I think he really, at the very end of our article, we say, like, if we had to choose, it would be Paxton. And if only because of all the frivolous, what we say are frivolous lawsuits. I mean, he sued Tylenol, So if we had to name one, it would probably be Paxton. But this year it was so difficult. It was just, so many different things to look at.
And we have a little bit under a minute left, but I did want to mention some runner-ups. Usually you'll name runner-ups. Who made the cut this year?
Well, like I said, Elon, Jasmine Crockett, who is now running for Senate as a Democrat, just had a couple of viral moments that were, I think not the best. I mean, referring to Greg Abbott in a derogatory way about his wheelchair, I think that was not a good moment, and certainly one she probably regrets. But I think that, like I said the Mavs, as a Dallas native, that one.
Yeah, that trade hurt. I'm a Dallas native myself, so
it still stings. But yeah, those are the runners up, and I think Greg Abbott had a tough year as well, and some of his responses to some tragedy. Yeah, it was just some gaffes. Yeah.
Yeah, as you mentioned, politics and sports. I think I saw Arch Manning on there as well.
Texas. It's Texas, politics and sports,
Runs the gamut.
Arch Manning, yes, that's right.
Or Ross, I know we could talk a lot more about this. We do have to go, but thank you so much for being here. And really briefly, where can people find this if they want to read the entire article?
TexasMonthly.com and in print, and we're in audio, and we do events. We do it all.
Easy to find. Ross, thanks so much for being here.
All right.